let's go ahead and add one more figure to my McFarlane DC Multiverse collection. What up? Welcome back. It is Bones, and today let's go ahead and do an update video. Now, I usually do these every once in a while to show you guys stuff that I picked up and added to the collection, or stuff that I've seen out in the wild, or things that you might see me review in the near future. Now, right now, I actually have a ton of unopened figures that I need to take to storage because that is where I keep my unopened mint inbox collection. So I'll be doing that later on today. Now, I'm actually still waiting on my two Wonder Woman figures from McFarlane. Now, a couple of days ago, I did actually receive the notice that my items had shipped, but I kind of had a feeling that being so close to Christmas, that I might not get them before Christmas Day. But no big deal. As you know, I always say, just have patience. Eventually, I will get them and take a look at them. Now, that kind of brings up one thing I did want to talk about, and that is that right away, you start hearing a lot of people having their complaints about the Wonder Woman figure. Now, far be it from me to say that they don't have the right to do that. I mean, that's fine. I just think sometimes people that don't have the figure yet get a little bit excited and start, spreading negative comments that sometimes may not be justified. I mean, everybody has a right to do that. And although I do watch reviews on them and take in the information, I always wait until I get the figure in my hand and before I decide what to actually say about it. But one thing did kind of irk me, and that was that you have some morons on here complaining that Wonder Woman doesn't have ears. Now, this kind of, got my gears going, and I was wondering what's up with that. So I actually went back and looked, and basically any of the Wonder Woman figures that have hair, they do not have ears. So I'm just wondering why it was not a issue before. Now all of a sudden with the collector Wonder Woman, it's a big issue where people are saying, "Oh, I'm not going to buy this cuz it doesn't have ears." I mean, come on, really? Are you that moronic? And I even looked at the Supergirl figure, and although you can see one of her ears, the other side of her head does have hair on it. So that kind of got me, wondering if there's an ear under there, which the whole reason I'm saying this is because this is kind of a design issue. Because if you want the hair to lay flat, there's no reason to put an ear there if you're just going to glue it to the plastic. So, of course, on her left side, there is no ear because all the hair was glued to the plastic of the head. So, for design purposes, why would you put an ear when you do not need to see the ear? Now, of course, if the ears are visible, then they do put the ears. But I just thought it was a pretty, nitpicky thing to start saying, it was a major issue that she didn't have ears when before nobody even noticed it, or even it wouldn't have ever come up until people really started scrutinizing this Wonder Woman figure. But I have two coming. I have the message, so I know they're coming. I already have some plans worked out of what I want to do with her to show you guys a little bit of improvements on her. And maybe I may end up getting one of the platinums because I did order two. But if not, that's fine as well. But really anxious to take a look at her, but that will be coming up probably next week. Now, I actually do have some pretty cool pickups. I did some ordering online, a lot of stuff in the wild, and I even picked up some classic stuff to show you guys. Now, actually, first up, I do have two Spawn figures. Now, although I do collect the Spawn line, I don't collect it with as much veracity as I collect the DC Multiverse line. So I usually wait for these to go on sale or to get them at a reduced price. And I did pick these up on eBay. and that was King Spider and Nightmare Spawn. Now I did get these for $15 each, so I thought that was a pretty good deal. And I usually add these to the collection, and I do not open them. I have plans to move here probably after this year, and once I do move, I will have a bigger office, and then I might start displaying some of the Spawn stuff. But pretty cool to pick these up for a cheaper price. That's usually what I do with the Spawn line. Is if I see that the figure is actually going up, then I'll go ahead and jump on it. But I feel like if I could wait for it to go down, then I usually just, hold off on it until I could find them for a nicer price. Now, out in the wild, this is pretty interesting. Now, first off, my boy Votten actually sent me a platinum edition of Jim Gordon as Batman, and I was really happy with that. I mean, because I actually hadn't picked it up. So, shout out to him. Pretty cool. He sent that to me. But then I had actually been doing some shopping these recent days, and every time I went to a Target, I actually saw this platinum Jim Gordon. So, uh, I don't know why. I just felt like I should just go ahead and pick them up. So now I actually have four. Now, the one that Votten sent me, I think it's this one. I will be keeping this one in box. This will go in my inbox collection. And I'm not necessarily sure what I'm going to do with these other two, but this one right here, the package is a little bit damaged. So this one I will be opening to put them on display. And that is usually what I do with platinums. Like, I'm not a crazy about platinums. Like, I have to have them. But if I do run across them, I do pick them up. And I do not open them up unless I pick up another one. That way I could still have one in my inbox collection. But these can get a little bit pricey. I'm thinking of doing a video talking about the platinums, but I am always appreciative when I do come across them in the wild or get one on a good deal. But I don't go crazy thinking like the world's gonna end just because I don't pick up a platinum figure. Now, speaking of platinums, I do have a couple of more, and that is the Platinum Sinestro from the second wave of the collector edition. Now, I actually won this one in the raffle that McFarlane does online. So that was pretty cool. And I had just been sitting on him. Like I said, if I just have one, I just leave it in box. But this one I actually found in the wild at Target. I put up a video on Instagram, like a little clip, and showed when I actually found it in real time, in Target. So, like I said, keep this one in box, open this one for display or even for doing some custom work, which I might do. I was thinking of repainting this one all sort of in this metallic emerald green paint that I have. So I may do that. I'm not exactly sure, but pretty awesome to have these in the collection. Now, for the final platinum that I picked up, I actually bought this on eBay. And like I said, it's pretty cool when you could get a good deal on them. Now, $40 for me is kind of stretching it. The sad thing is that a lot of platinums go for above 50. And I actually got this on an auction. Nobody nobody bid on it. So I ended up paying $30 for this, which is really cool. I do actually want to hunt down another one of these so that I can open one because I have some plans for an opened version of this Platinum Riddler. But for right now, this one is just going to go in my mint inbox collection. But like I said, I do appreciate picking these up, but I just, don't think it's that important that I must have them when they come out. I kind of just hold off a little bit on these. Now, doing a little bit more hunting, I did pick up at Target. I had actually told you guys that I was not really interested in any of the Aquaman figures. they just don't do it for me. Now, I have heard that they are really nice figures, great articulation, great design. But I actually picked this one up at Target because I got it for $10. The little octopus was just calling to me, and I had to go ahead and pick him up. Now I think online you can still pick him up for $10. So I was, contemplating doing that to have one, in box. But at the same time, I had made a rule that I'm not really excited to get these Aquaman figures, well, the Momoa ones. So whenever I could get them for really cheap on Amazon or whatever, I'll go ahead and pick them up. But it's not like a big priority for me. But what I did say was that this Black Manta figure is an awesome figure. And whenever I saw him in the wild, I was going to go ahead and pick him up. Now, I only saw him once out of all the targets that I went to. I only saw him once, so I went ahead and picked him up. I already have one of him open, but this one I'll be keeping in box. But hopefully I'll come across him again. If not, I'll have to go to Amazon or Target.com and maybe pick up a third one. Or maybe I'll wait until they give them a reduced price. But some pretty cool pickups. I'm not sad about it. Add them to the collection, but this Black Manta is a must-have, in my opinion. Now, if you have noticed, I am not a big fan of all of the repaints that McFarlane has done. The Jokerized, the Sketch Edition, all of this stuff, it just doesn't do it for me. And that's fine. That's fine because people that do like these versions could buy them and it's not a problem. But the thing is that I just don't feel them. So I don't really, they're not something I'm really sought after. So I'll hold off on those. I do have various ones of them, but I basically just kept them in box. But something that I really did like, and this just goes to show you, buy what you like, pick up what intrigues you. But if it doesn't, then there's no problem. McFarlane isn't going to go out of business just because you don't pick up a patina version of a figure. I mean, that just goes to everybody's choice and their preference. But what I really did like was when I saw these glow in the dark Swamp Thing figures. Now, I didn't go crazy and had to be the first one to have one. And even if you've noticed on my channel, I don't really have that many reviews of these, alternate color versions of the figures. It's just not something big for me. But I really wanted this glow in the dark Swamp Thing. Now, I did pick this up at a reduced price on Amazon. And I just, something about the Swamp Thing figure being so good and such an awesome figure, and then being glow in the dark was really something that just spoke to me. So, really happy to pick this guy up. He looks really awesome. I'm not sure. I'll have to take out the black light and see if he really glows, with using the black light or if it's only glow in the dark. But you also know that I had to pick up another one of these. So I did get two of these. As I said before, they were at a reduced price. Not much, but it was a little bit less than, retail. So I went ahead and picked up two of these just because these are something that I really wanted. So I went ahead and picked them up. Awesome addition to the collection. Now, I did pick up another glow in the dark, and for the same reason, it was at a reduced price, and that is the John Stewart glow in the dark version. I also heard that from people that this one was really cool. So yeah, he looks awesome. The glow in the dark paint and the brightness of it really speak to me. So happy to add this one as well, and for a good price. You can't beat that. Now, finally, I did pick up a little bit of classic stuff. The first one is actually going to be I picked up an in-box Grim Knight figure. Now, the story behind this is pretty interesting. I was just, constantly refreshing my eBay page to see if anything I wanted popped up. I think that day I was like at a meeting and I was just kept refreshing and seeing if anything popped up that I really wanted. And all of a sudden I saw this Grim Knight, 25 bucks plus tax, which was like $2-3. And I jumped on it. I picked it up. It was buy now. And Sure enough, they sent me a Grim Knight in box. They actually even sent me a note that said, "Hope you enjoy your figure and thank you for your business." So I thought that was pretty nice. Now, everybody knows I have a huge Grim Knight collection, repaints, customs, original versions. I have it all. I even made him a motorcycle. And I do have one of these in box in my mint in box collection. But how can you turn down a deal when this thing really goes for 60, 70, maybe even $80? I jumped on it for 25 bucks. Now, I kept thinking like, why is it 25 bucks? Like what what's the secret? Like what didn't they understand, or what did they see that made them sell this for 25 bucks? And I finally figured it out. And if you look at the bottom, this actually came from GameStop, and you could see the tag there, $25, and it actually says 2020, and that is when the DC Multiverse line began. So I guess they just saw that price and they figured it was just, a random GameStop figure, and that's why they sold it. But never turned down a good deal. I'm really appreciative to have received this Minton box Grim Knight figure. He'll probably go up here in my, wall of shame of pretty nice inbox figures. So really happy to add another inbox Grim Knight to my collection. Now finally, I haven't been picking up too much old school stuff, but I did pick up a DC Universe Classics figure. Now, these are the only figures that I army build in the DC Universe Classics line, and these are the robot manhunters, the ones that chase the Green Lanterns. And I actually have, this is going to be my ninth one. You can actually see them over here behind me. And I really would like to get to 10. Now, these are basically usually above $20 online, but I did get this guy for $15. So, really happy about that. Like I said, I would like to have 10 of these, and as long as I could pick them up for a good deal, I will continue to army build these robot manhunters. So, I thought that was awesome. Really love adding another one of these to the collection. Now, as for all of this stuff, I actually feel really blessed to be able to collect and enjoy my collection and have some kind of therapeutic benefit to this. You guys don't really know me that well. As far as, what you see here, I try to keep my anonymity, as much as I can. And going into this new year, I hope everybody's being safe out there and enjoying their collecting and being a nice person. Not like me, a big jerk that I am, can be, but there is something about me is that I have a really big strength, and this strength comes from inside of me. I like to be able to, if anybody talks smack, I just like, laugh it off. Don't really care about what people say or what people think about me. I just do me and live my best life. And I, hope that I could give a little bit of that to all of you. But, anyways, keep hunting out there, keep collecting, keep customizing, and I will see you on the next one.
They used to call me Crazy Joe, but now they can call me Batman.